happening, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of Rouslin's Opening Round 3 Ball, or Rouslin's 3 Ball. I'm your host, Jason Rouslin, and what a great time to be in fantasy sports, and especially on the Awesemo.com premium membership side. We've got every sport going on, and if you didn't check out my model breakdown before, then of course you would not have heard me give my little spiel about how every sport is pretty much in full swing. Golf will take a little bit of a break here coming up in just about a month, and then we'll be back in full swing on the first of the year. So, jumping right into this week, we've got a fun and exciting tournament, a new tournament this week, the ZOZO Championship held in Japan. So the PGA Tour's first trip back to Japan since, before I can remember, and I think it was the Tiger Woods World Golf Championship or something along that lines, was not a PGA Tour event. So let's go ahead and learn about the ZOZO Championship. It is going to be played at, Tiger Woods is in the field. There we go. It's played at Narashino Country Club, and it's a par 70 measuring 7,100 yards. But it's actually a shorter course by yardage, right? But it won't play that way. It's hidden by the fact that there's 5 par 3s that are all under 200 yards. And the other fun thing is there's 2 greens to every hole, first and foremost. Yeah, 2 greens to every hole, crazy. I don't know if they're going to use both greens on every hole or what they're going to do, but certainly endless pin placements. And then we have the par 4s are either real short at 400 yards or under, or all real long at 480 or over. There's only one par 4 that measures in between those on the entire course. So if there's 5 par 3s, 3 par 5s, and then the rest, so that'll give us 10 par 4s. So only one between the 4 and 480. Crazy. As I mentioned at the top, this is the first year of the tournament. So DraftKings and FanDuel maybe don't know where to price it as last week was the whatever you call it. The demand. The demand for the contest was very high. Everything filled very quickly, but did not give that a bump this week. Maybe going back to their old adage. Geez, I'm fumbling my words today. Apologize. Of Tiger Woods not bumping up and giving more interest to golf. Well, we know that's false, as Tiger Woods makes his PGA Tour debut. Not 10-5 on DraftKings. I'm sorry. He's 9-3 on DraftKings and 10-5 on FanDuel. I must have just, I apologize. I must have just missed that. So strokes gained, Tiger actually didn't put in enough rounds to have official strokes gained rankings. But last year, 10th, top 10 in approaches if you dig in, and top 50 in putting. So not too bad. So sorry about that. Typo there for Tiger. But we'll move on, and we will go to our second guy, Matthew Fitzpatrick, making his also 2019-2020 PGA Tour debut. DraftKings is at $9,000, FanDuel at $9,600, so pretty cheap on FanDuel compared to DK. Second at the Italian Open a couple of weeks ago, and 26th at the Alfred Dunhill a couple of weeks before that, so form certainly seems to be there. He's more accuracy over distance, and also does like approaches over 200 yards. So Matt Fitzpatrick seems to be a great course fit this week, and maybe comes with a little lower ownership on DraftKings with that price being so high. So our oddball of the week is Chan Kim. Chan Kim's actually an American playing over on the Japanese tour. He's rather old. He's in his 30s now, but coming in off of great form. Won the Japan Open last week. Beating out Adam Scott and Sean Norris, who are both in the field this week. Priced at $6,300 on DraftKings, $7,200 on FanDuel. That got flopped on me. Chan Kim, interesting guy this week. One of those guys that you know is going to be low owned, very cheap on the sports, and if he has 1 or 2 good rounds, could certainly give you value. So Chan Kim this week, my oddball that I love to throw in. Last week was Jazz Janawattanand, who actually ended up being a lot more popular than I thought, over 10%. Do not expect the same thing for Chan Kim here this week. And now we'll go into the last part of this quick little video, where I give you some bets and some round 1 showdown focus. Last week was my worst week, where I couldn't even pick up a tie. I had Jazz Janawattanand going up against Griot, and Griot came out of the books hot. And Ian Poulter did the same against Ian Poulter. Just had a good day. I think he shot 4 under, And he was going up against, I think it was Adam Long, and he had a bad first round. I think he shot 1 over or even par. So lost those. So we'll try to bounce back this week, taking 2 underdogs again, as I've tried to do. Nate Lashley had a really good week last week with greens and fairways, so hopefully that'll continue. And Billy Horschel really struggled on the green, so maybe that'll continue at least for one more round. And then Siwoo Kim has been playing some pretty steady golf, whereas Pat Perez has kind of been a little up and down. Obviously, the third place finish for Pat Perez a couple of weeks ago before the Houston Open. The Shriners is a great start, but thought the Siwoo Kim line at plus 110 is probably a little too good to pass up. So we'll go with that. Last week, my round 1 Showdown Focus, Jordan Spieth shot a couple under par and had 5 birdies out there, so pretty good start by him. Keith Mitchell shot 1 over, had a couple of birdies, but not exactly what we were looking for. This week, we're going to turn our attention to Adam Scott. A couple of A's, actually. I didn't even realize that. AS's even. Adam Scott, 9,300, has gotten off the blocks a couple of times recently. Very hot, so we'll see if that continues. Then Adam Schenk, one of the toughest names in golf, coming in at 6,800 this week, coming off of a pretty decent week. And always like to throw in a little low-owned guy, especially on a PGA Tour that has been over here and could see some form. So hopefully that gives you a little bit of interest going into the ZOZO Championship. And, of course, if you're looking for more content, more free content, if you're not already an Awesemo.com member, Ben Raza and I did a strategy show last night. And, of course, all the First Cut and Make the Cut articles are free as well. So plenty to check out. And, of course, on the premium side, my main article will be coming out at about noon, where I give my entire player pool and where I'm playing everybody. So a lot to still have. So much going on in the fantasy industry right now and in the betting industry. So, of course, if you're looking to find me and chat with me, you can find me on Twitter or, of course, in the Slack DMs if you're an Awesemo member. Until next time, everybody. Cheers.